On Thursday, the 9th of May, 22-year-old Jalal Debella stabbed 66-year-old grandmother Anita Muki in Edgewear, the north of London, in broad daylight. Now, despite Barnet, the London borough that Edgewear falls under, being generally considered as one of the safest areas in the city, statistics actually demonstrate a 36% increase in knife attacks in the last year alone. Yet, the Metropolitan Police is citing this as an isolated incident. An isolated incident? As you can imagine, the internet is in uproar about how this horrendous attack is being described, with numerous media networks echoing the same dismissive framing in their reporting, as though it should be brushed aside as quickly as possible. We see reports time and time again citing how London is a safe place to live, but many have begun questioning how true this really is. Now, first off, let's assess how London stacks up in terms of violent crime per 1,000 people compared to other major capital cities in the EU. Whilst the definition varies across different countries, which may affect the comparison, it is generally described as offences that involve the use or threat of physical force against another person, such as kidnapping, sexual assault, robbery, and homicide. So, Budapest, Hungary, 3.1 per 1,000 people. Warsaw, Poland, 3.3 per 1,000 people. Rome, Italy, 5.2 per 1,000 people. Madrid, Spain, 5.3 per 1,000 people. And then London, UK, 17.6 per 1,000 people. And since 2020, this has only gotten worse. Violent crime in London is now more than 5 times the number of Warsaw or Budapest, with London now seeing over 1,000 cases of knife crime per month. I'm staggered that the Metropolitan Police could ever describe this as a mere isolated incident to hit the nation's capital. So why is this happening? For a start, we know that knife crime across the UK is on the rise. Quoting directly from the UK Parliament's research briefing entitled Knife Crime Statistics, England and Wales, it states, in 1977, there were 135 homicides involving a sharp instrument, including knives and broken bottles. This accounted for 33% of all homicides. Then, in 2021-22, there were 282 recorded homicides using a sharp instrument, the highest number of homicides using a sharp instrument recorded between 1977 and 2022. This accounted for 41% of all homicides. The population of England and Wales grew by 21.84% between 1977 and 2022. But homicides involving sharp instruments grew by a whopping 108.89%. And last year, the Met Police recorded a staggering 14,577 knife crimes, averaging nearly 40 incidents per day. We also know that, when compared with data from the 60s, that immigration is rising on an exponential level. According to the House of Commons Library Research Briefing on migration statistics, the number of people migrating to the UK has been greater than the number emigrating in each year since 1994. Before then, immigration and emigration were roughly in balance, with net migration slightly decreasing the population in most years. Over the last 25 years, both immigration and immigration have increased to historically high levels, with immigration exceeding emigration by more than 100,000 in every year between 1998 and 2020. Now, the dip in the graph demonstrated in 2020 can be attributed to the COVID-19 pandemic, which, as we all know, did put the world to a halt. However, look at that spike afterwards. You can see, just from seeing that graph, that immigration has gone entirely out of control in the UK. In the year ending June 2023, 1.2 million people migrated into the UK and 508,000 people emigrated from it, leaving a net migration figure of 672,000. Then, over the last decade alone, 9 million people moved to the UK and 5.7 million people left, meaning that net migration added 3.3 million to the population. According to the UK's Member of Parliament Neil O'Brien's analysis of the immigration crisis for Conservative Home, just under 7 million people in England and Wales said they had arrived in the UK between 2001 and 2021, making that nearly 1,000 extra people a day. Yes, you heard me right. That's per day. The facts speak for themselves. London is becoming an increasingly dangerous place to live, or even just to walk around during the day. This appalling attack is just brushed off as some isolated incident, just another statistic. And yet, the number of victims as a result of knife crime in London continues to rise at the hands of criminals who do not share our values and will never be fully assimilated into our culture. Dismissing this attack as a mere isolated incident is to dismiss the horrific nature of this crime, the trends that we are seeing across London and the country as a whole. It is a complete insult not only to Anita Mookie, but to her whole family that she tragically leaves behind. With the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan's complete failure to tackle the horrifying rise of knife attacks in London and his recent dismissal of concerns towards it at all, it is shocking to me how he's been voted in again for another 4 years to run London into the ground.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, London.
Khan killed London! Khan killed London!
Forget deepest sympathies and meaningless remarks of sorrow. I want to see action. I want to feel safe in my home capital, and dismissing facts as anomalies will not change anything. And this includes one key fact. We have to stop ignoring growing immigration rates. That is the root cause of all of this.